Let's pay homage to the Buddha, the fully enlightened one. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Today we will have question and answer section. If I have right condition, I may give Dhamma talk next time.
The first question. One thing I always wondered about this matter, Myanmar Paul can be proud of holding the 5th, 6th Buddhist Council, which means they have well preserved Buddha Sasana, both Pariyatti and Patipati. And we also can see many different names and methods of meditation centers organizing well than any other country, such as Mahasi, Panditarama, Jomin, Moho, Sunrun, Hindu, etc. But they teach only pure Vipassana without jhana except Pa-Auk. Why is it?
Can you repeat the first part of the question?
The first part of the question means Myanmar held the 5th and 6th Council, and that means they have preserved the Buddha Sasana very well. Yeah. Preserved Sasana in terms of Pariyatti and Patipati. And there are many different schools, but they teach only pure Vipassana without jhana. Why is that so?
Many years ago, in our country, there were no many teachers who could teach meditation practice. At a certain time, people were longing for the method how to practice meditation. So at that time, different teachers taught different methods, the way they understood. One of the well-known teachers was Lady Siaro. Lady Siaro is very well-known up to now. But if you read all his works, all his books, we don't see the detailed instructions how to practice meditation step by step. Somehow, he's the best of all, explaining about what is the Paramattha, ultimate truth. But there is no detailed explanation how to penetrate them. So later, there also Mogul Sayadaw. Mogul Sayadaw is very well known. He is famous as an Arahant. After his body was burned, it is said a lot of relics remain. But when we listen the teachings of the Sayadaw, we also didn't see the detailed explanation how to practice step by step. Nowadays, many of his disciples, maybe from one generation to another, they hand it down. They're also teaching what they call Mogul Sayadaw's method. So one of the teachers from those center, now he was practicing here. What he told me, mainly they emphasize more on explaining, expressing their understanding. Even the time meditators are practicing, they turn on the Mogul Sayadaw's Dhamma talk while they are practicing. because of this reason, what I notice, they also don't know how to practice step by step systematically. But if you read Imogo Searo's books and his Dhamma talk, which appear in a book form, if you replace with what you have penetrated here, you will understand deeply. But if you have no such knowledge, your understanding is very shallow. It depends on your penetration. But if you have no direct knowledge, your understanding will be very much different. So I don't know that the Searo had explained to such deep essence, or just the way ordinary people understand. This is what you all need to reflect. Before I ordained, I had read a few books of Mogo Searo. I'm very grateful to the Searo. He's a very good speaker, excellent. He can explain, even the ordinary people understand the Dhamma. But at that time, what I understood after reading is one. Now, my understanding when I read his book is another. That's why I think you all may have such different. If you can make comparison before and after you have penetrated the Dhamma, the way we are teaching according to the Visuddhi Magga. There are also some other teachers, but I will tell about another well-known Searo, Mahasi Searo. He is the most famous Searo in the world in his time. No comparison. Why? Until now, the whole world, people, those who are interested in meditation, they follow practice. I believe there are nobody who never practiced his teachings in this audience. Right? Me too, I have started my meditation with the Mahasi tradition. What I understood at that time, because of Mahasi Searo, people started to know how to practice meditation, even in our country. But I thought Searo had tried his best, the way he understood. I don't need to explain the way of his teaching. I believe I know all of you know much about it. What I can say is what we are teaching here. Before I ordained, I had been Pa-Auk for 3 times as a layman. First time, to help concerning with the computer. At that time I'm a computer teacher. So Pa-Auk, people offer computer and know much bhikkhus, those who know how to use. I came for this. On that night I slept in the Pa-Auk Searo's kuti. As a remembrance. At that time, Searo didn't give me any blanket. I was cold on that night. At that time, I didn't understand, but I didn't complain anything. Because I didn't know bhikkhu's vinaya. Actually, when the guest comes, bhikkhus cannot give any blanket. So if there is a kapiya who knows how to give a hand, if they can offer a blanket, it may be good. Fortunately, it is not a cold weather that I was not freezed. So next morning, I could say I went for alms. Like now all of you. So on that day I remember the offer rice and bean. But I didn't know what the Pa-Auk was teaching at that time here. After that, maybe only after 2 or 3 years later, I came here again. So, within 3 years, I didn't come. There is no any reason to come here. At that time, I'm being busy with my business. At that time, I came together with my elder brother, who is exactly older than me 10 years, who was born 1st of September too. I was born 1st of September, that my brother was born 1st of September. He was older than me 10 years exactly. They came together with me. On that day, Pa-Auk was teaching meditation in this building. So we came and see Pa-Auk, and my brother was curious to know what Pa-Auk was teaching here. As you all know, in our country there are many meditation methods. That's why my brother asked a question. Seattle, can I ask you a question? Yes, you can. What method are you teaching here? Pa-Auk smiled and then give an answer. Buddha's method. Just this only. He didn't say any other things. Buddha's method. In my mind, I felt this. It must be this. It must be like that. Should not be any other method. After that, I forgot everything. I went back home. I was busy with my business again. About another 2 years later, sense of urgency arose in me. I decided to enter the order, choose to live ordained life because I want to be free from suffering in the full states. So I came here. I didn't know what the Pa-Auk was teaching. I just knew Buddha's method. When sense of urgency arose in my mind, if Mogos was alive, I may ordain them. Yes, truly. Because I know his teaching, I appreciate it very much, the way he explained the Dhamma. But Seattle was no more. So at that time, this thought appeared, I must go there, where it is teaching Buddha's method. So that words appear in my mind again. This is the driving force for me to come here. But I didn't know what the Seattle was teaching here exactly. I don't know. So when I came here, so I will summarize, I will not tell some other things. Finally I ordained. I practiced here with doubt in my mind. Why? I have practiced Hansi tradition and Mogul tradition. I have never practiced what the Pa-Auk was teaching here. I have listened some other talks, but I have never listened Pa-Auk's Dhamma talk. I know nothing about this center. I just came here as a guest. So the time I practice here, it is completely different from what I have done before. That's why in my mind, which one is right, which one I should follow. There was enough fighting at that time to practice this, to practice the previous one. Which one is true, which one is wrong. As you all know, we all wanted to know what it is familiar with us. Yeah, definitely, my mind goes to my abdomen, falling and arising many days. Even though I'm practicing mindfulness of breathing, my mind was not on the in-breath and out-breath. For a long time, I was focusing the rising and falling. Because of previous practice, because of habit, attached to it. But after listening the Dhamma talk every night, I realized Pa-Auk, he's explaining, just quoting Pali, commentary and sub-commentary. He never expressed his idea. He just explained what appeared in the Pali text. And if necessary, he adds commentary, explanation. And furthermore, if it is necessary, he explains sub-commentary, explanation. We didn't see Pa-Auk in his Dhamma talk. We just see what the Buddha said. So it is reliable because it is just what he is explaining instead of the Buddha, just by explaining what the Buddha said, what the commentary explains. So I decided I will follow this method. This is what I never heard in my life. What I have listened before is very shallow. Because all the sayadaws who give Dhamma talk outside, they cannot explain deeply. People outside, they can't understand. They are being busy with their business. If any sayadaw explains deeply, they feel sleepy. They don't want to listen to Dhamma. So that's why almost all the sayadaws, those who are famous in giving Dhamma talk, they choose the Dhamma talk what they can make people happy. Happy on the spot, it is enough. Including me. So, as for me too, now I need to give Dhamma talk outside sometime. I never give very deep and profound explanation outside. Only in abroad. When I had meditation retreat, I tried my best explaining how to practice meditation deeply, step by step, according to the Satipatthana Sutta and Visuddhimagga. But I explain here in Myanmar very briefly how to practice meditation, the way they can understand, not the way some of you understand here. It is very difficult to give very deep and profound Dhamma outside. So, here, Pa-Auk, to say the truth, when he decided to enter the forest to engage practice in meditation, he didn't know how to practice meditation. After entering the forest, he came out from the forest again. Why? To learn how to practice meditation from the well-known teachers those days. So he learned from all the famous teachers at that time. After that, what he told me, they are not in accordance with the teachings of the Buddha. Different teachers teach different method. It should not be. It must be the only way, under the guidance of the only teacher. So in the Satipatthana Sutta also, as the Buddha said, Ekayano and Bhikkhve Sattana Visuddhiya. This is the only way. That's why he decided to find out the right way of practicing meditation, reading all the Pali commentary and sub-commentaries for 5 years. He came to know that Visuddhimagga is reliable one. And then he practiced accordingly. And then when he became the abbot of this monastery, but initially just a temporary abbot, he told lay devotees here, the second abbot passed away, who was his acquainted one. So before he passed away, he asked a promise. When I pass away, you must take responsibility of this monastery, because for the happiness of his fellow sayadaw. So he promised, I will do. But when he came here, he told the lay people, find a new abbot, Find a new apple. If you found, I will enter the forest again. For studying long period, he didn't give any Dhamma talk here. He just do his things. So here in this monastery, they have this tradition. They invited different teachers from different places, different monasteries. So many sayadaws came and teach the Dhamma. So different teachers explain different methods. What happened? Lay devotee, they approach about sayadaw. They are giving different explanation. We confused now. We should confuse. We will stop inviting all those teachers. Please, let us know what you are practicing. Only at that time he started teaching. He didn't say anything about those teachers come and teach. He allowed every teacher according to their tradition. Starting from that time, he started teaching Visuddhimagga method. So in the beginning, he started teaching 4 elements meditation, not the mindfulness of breathing meditation. But the time meditators practice dependent origination. 4 elements concentration is not strong enough to penetrate their past life for all the meditators. Some it is, but some it is not. So for those who could not do easily, he switched to the other meditation objects such as Kasina, Vaikasina and Anapana. Later, he started teaching to almost all the beginners mindfulness of breathing meditation. And then step by step, according to the Visuddhimagga method. So why it is different? Because many teachers, those who are well known in our country, up to nowadays, from a long, long time ago, most of them follow traditions of their teachers. Pa-Auk is the one who didn't follow any traditions, even though he had learned, practiced under the guidance of those well-known teachers. He chose the way the Buddha taught. So we are teaching that way only.
Okay, Bhante, another question. Since the boys, we used to hear some meditators say that they have completed or going to complete learning meditation, complete the course. What is the meaning of this statement? Thank you.
Cannot say complete. Please don't use this word. Just say that I know how to practice vipassana. Okay? Complete means you have attained arahantship. You have done what should be done, but you haven't for sure. That's why, please say, I know how to practice according to Visuddhimagga up to the vipassana stage.
When we practice focusing on the breath in every posture, doesn't that mean that we do not practice sampajanya? That means we do not know walking when we are walking, etc.
This is not the time to do sampajanya. This is the time to emphasize focusing on the mindfulness of breathing meditation object to develop concentration. We are going to teach Iriyabhata method or Sampajanya method only after developing concentration. As the Buddha said, bhikkhus develop concentration. The one who is concentrated knows and sees things as they really are. Without having developed concentration, how can you know and see things as they really are? Please don't do.
I think can you please kindly explain the difference between Nirodha Samapatti, Nibbana, Bhavana, and Asanya Kaya Bhumi, not practice. It all seems to have the same kind of stage. Nothing at all.
Nirodha Samapatti and
Nibbana.
Nibbana.
The next one is Bhavana.
Bhavana.
And then Asanya Kaya Bhumi.
Asanya.
Asanya Kaya Bhumi. The first one not the same.
I will not explain about the Nirodha. I will explain about who can experience Nibbana. Nirodha Samapatti is just for those who have attained Anagami and Arahant. So only when you attain, you will understand. Okay? So it is very deep and profound. Now, what I want to tell all of you is who can take Nibbana as object. Nibbana only.
Sorry, you write here Bhavana, but when I read, it means Bhavanga.
Bhavanga. Oh.
So, Nirodha Samapatti, Nibbana, Bhavanga, and Asanya Hayatini.
Do you know what is falling into Bhavanga? Every night, what did you do? You fall asleep soundly. It means that you fall into Bhavanga completely. But in some meditation center, because of not knowing ultimate truth, because of not knowing and not seeing ultimate mentality and materiality, because of not knowing how to practice, some meditators, I will talk about one of the meditators from one of the meditation centers. She came here. One day, she approached me. I didn't ask anything. But she herself told me that she has attained Sotapanna. Her teachers titled her, "You are a Sotapanna." That's why I am a Sotapanna. And then I asked, "Can you enter fruition anytime you want?" "No, I can't." Those who have attained path and fruition knowledge, anytime if they want to enter fruition, it is possible, anytime. But she could not do it. And I asked another question. Do you know ultimate mentality and materiality, which is the first noble truth, the suffering? I don't know. Do you know the second noble truth, the origin of suffering? No, I don't. But I have attained Sotapanna. And I asked another question. When you enter fruition, do you know something? I know nothing. Only when I came out from it, I knew that I have already entered fruition. So according to the Buddha's teaching, it appears in the Anguttara Nikaya, chapter 10. The one who is taking Nibbana as object, entering fruition knowledge, they are taking Nibbana as object. Nibbana is their object. It is not true that they know nothing. They know nothing means they fall into Bhavanga. Falling into Bhavanga is for them attaining Nibbana. They say, cease everything, mentality and materiality. Okay? So in the attainment of the path and fruition, only in the Nibbana, there is no trace of mentality and materiality. But there is a mind that taking Nibbana as object. It is not true that know nothing. Even Bhavanga mind state knows the past object. It is not true that Bhavanga knows nothing. So this is Bhavanga. The Nibbana also already include, I think. I don't know what it is.
The next question for some graduates, I don't know whether graduates can finish the course. For some graduates, there is a gap between knowing and seeing, the supra-mundane and purifying the views in daily life. What is the best way to know and see non-self, impermanence and suffering moment to moment, so that we can let go of our views and all phenomena.
View.
Yeah, so that we can let go of our views and all phenomena.
For whom?
What is the best way for us to know and see the tilakkhana?
Tilakkhana.
Yeah. Moment to moment, so that we can let go of our views and all phenomena.
Very good question. You must wait until you realize ultimate mentality, materiality, cause and their effects. Only at that time you know tilakkhana. Now, without developing concentration, without having developed concentration, without proceeding to know and see the ultimate truth and cause and effect, you can't understand the way the Buddha taught. To be able to contemplate impermanence, suffering and non-self repeatedly, many times for each characteristic. First, we must see ultimate materiality, which are arising and perishing very, very rapidly all the time. Second, you must know and see ultimate mentality, which are arising and perishing rapidly all the time, quicker than the arising and perishing of ultimate materiality. Thirdly, you must know cause and effect, which is the origin of suffering. Only after that you can proceed insight meditation, contemplating impermanence, suffering and unself. Now, if you are the one who has penetrated all these, you can do. But if you are not yet, please be patient. Being patient is the way to Nibbana.
Angthong said that Pa-Auk teaches the Buddha's method, and according to his Visuddhimagga, the Buddha teaches not to do evil and to keep restraints of faculties so as to prevent defilements to enter the mind. But Pa-Auk teaches meditation to do unwise attention to arouse all defilements of each object of six thoughts in every stage of practicing. That means do asana. Then, Atisha Samutpada and Vipassana, stuff like that. The Buddha does not allow us to do akusala because the akusala karma only leads us to suffer and the four woeful states. Please give us the reference that the Buddha teaches us to do evil.
Buddha is very, very wise. Buddha didn't teach us to do the evil, but to kill the evil. Bada Gadanatan, to kill the cause of evil. To be able to do so, we need to understand the fault of evil. The fault of evil. For that reason, in the Satipatthana Sutta also, Buddha instructed to pay attention, to know when lustful feeling arises in the mind, to know that now the lustful feeling is arising. So only when meditators directly know and see unwholesome mentality, at that time almost all the meditators, they reported, oh, very, very bad. We don't want to be with these anymore. But if they are wisely pay attention on the unwholesome Dhamma, at that time there is no unwholesome mind. So first, to understand the fault of them. Second, to see them wisely. Unwholesome states of mind arises. At that time, if you contemplate impermanent suffering non-self, At that time there will be no attachment, there will be no pride, there will be no wrong view. The important thing is to have such quality, to contemplate impermanent suffering non-self on those both good and bad Dharma.
Related question, can Bhante please kindly tell us some examples of preventing raga to arise? And if raga had arisen, how to stop it?
According to the Buddha's teaching, to prevent from this, we all need to develop the practice of Asubha. We all need to practice Asubha Bhavana, repulsiveness meditation. Every early morning when we wake up, at that time, we should do repulsiveness meditation. If you can't practice with the Anapana concentration, just look at the repulsive cause, very repulsive cause with naked eyes, and pay attention to it, noting Asubha, or repulsiveness. But if you do every day, early morning, or most of the time, when you are not focusing your meditation object, your foundation, at that time, you must always pay attention to cause. If you do so, when raga arises at that time, you can quickly pay attention to that object. The main cause of suffering is unwisely applying the mind onto the asserting object. Buddha said, if we don't apply the mind on a certain object, there will be no problem, especially to the unwholesome object. If we continuously apply the mind on it, it means that we are participating. Because of this reason, it becomes stronger and stronger. But if you change your application mind to the wholesome object, your mindset changes completely. That's why, to be able to overcome all the difficulties along the way you practice, you need to find out one object to which you can apply your mind very easily and quickly. If you can apply to that object as quick as possible, your mindset changes immediately. But you need the skill.
How to practice Indriya Samvara Sila in daily life effectively?
Not to look around, just to cast the eyes down. As the Buddha said, wherever we go, whatever we do, without looking at this and that, just pay attention to your meditation object. Without directing the mind to the meditation object, it is not easy to practice this Indriya Samvara Sila.
I know the definition of the following three words: Animitta Samadhi, mindless concentration.
Animitta
Samadhi, silent concentration. And Sunyata, and Nibbana. That's the definition of the four. And the differences among them.
Animitta, Sunyata, and Nibbana.
Animitta Samadhi.
Animitta
Samadhi.
Samadhi. Another one?
Nibbana and Sunyata.
They are the same. In time of entering fruition knowledge, at that time, supramundane concentration arises, taking Nibbana as object. In Nibbana, there is no nimitta. Nimitta means no trace of mentality and materiality. That's why it is called sunyata. It is called Nibbana. Okay?
Is the mind originally pure or intrinsically bright and very luminous? Is this the state of Nibbana?
No. Nibbana has no light.
Many people in this world believe that there's a soul in each individual. we transfer from this life to another. This is a wrong view in Buddhism. To the person who has not much Dharma knowledge, how should we explain to correct this wrong view? Thank you.
I don't get the question.
Oh, sorry. Many people in this world believe that there is a soul,
Yes.
soul that transfers from this life to another. So this is a wrong view in Buddhism. So to one who has not much Dharma knowledge, how do we explain this to them?
We all need right knowledges. Right knowledges springs right understanding. Right understanding produces right action. Without right knowledges, there will be no right understanding. Without right understanding, there will be no right action. If there is no right action, there will be no right result. Cannot reach to the proper goal, the right goal. For that reason, those who have no right knowledges, we need to provide them to have right knowledges. We can't make them accept these true knowledges just by explaining once or twice. They must study and they must have faith. To have faith on the true teachings of the Buddha, they need the support of past karma. Okay? If they have no support of past good karma, how much we try, all in vain sometimes. Okay? So that's why, yes, it is true, there is no soul, there is no permanent soul. Even in Brahmanism, they taught this. They also believe in karma and ijvasat, but the soul is transferring from one body to another, according to their karma. Karma gives its result, but soul moves from one body to another. It seems similar to the teachings, but completely different. There is no permanence, so only cause and effect only.
When we think that praying to God is breaking our three refuges, to God means pray to Deva.
Yeah.
However, we often see in the Parita mentioning about Deva will protect us. In Mora Paritang, it even mentions about paying homage to the sun. This seems to encourage us to associate with Deva and the sun.
Devas, they have divine eyes, they have divine ears, they have superpower, what we haven't. Because of this reason, for the protection, those devas, good devas, I didn't mean bad devas. They love the Dhamma too. In times of the Buddha, they listened the Dhamma, they practiced the Dhamma, they heard the Dhamma, they followed the Dhamma, they loved the Buddha, they loved the Dhamma, they loved the noble Sangha. So almost all the Parita, they mention the truth, explaining the truth, mentioning the truth, explaining about the Buddha who is Supreme One, fully enlightened one, the Dhamma which can make us understand the truth, Sangha who is the noble ones, they love very much. Explaining the true nature of Buddha, Dhamma and Ariya Sangha. So they let them know. If it is true, protect the people. They protect the people because they love the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Okay? We are not associating. We ask protection, telling the truth about the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha.
The next question is about meditation. When I enter to jhana, I suddenly feel that my mind is not peaceful and the mind cannot come down and it's always like moving. I have no way to peacefully concentrate and focus on my meditation object. So what should I do when I enter jhana?
When you enter jhana,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
This is the question.
Who can enter the jhana concentration? are those whose 5 controlling faculties has been balanced. So the time they can enter jhana concentration, their 5 controlling faculties are balanced. Yes, there are some meditators, those who could enter the jhana concentration, but at a certain time, because of hindrances, because of some undesirable things that happened to him at the present, that time he or she had no calm mind. At that time, he or she may encounter difficulty to enter, but not very long time. Within a short time, he can attain the jhana concentration too. So, the one who knows how to enter jhana concentration is the one whose 5 controlling faculties has been balanced. If you want to enter your jhana concentration again, you need to develop right attitude. If you have no right attitude, yes, it is possible that you can't enter again. As you know, we all have defilements. We are practicing meditation to get rid of or to remove these defilements. But unfortunately, because of some samsara habit, when undesirable things occur, what happens? Instead of making the mind calm, we participate with those undesirable things. Because in the rounds of rebirth along the samsara, if we encounter undesirable things, mostly we participate with it, we think about it, and we argue with those who did it, sometimes argue alone. So this is because of our habit. When we practice meditation, and if you want to see the good result, and if you want to maintain the good things, we all need to develop and maintain the right attitude. It means not to welcome any unwholesome states of mind and not to participate with them. You must accept. You can't argue with them. You can't complain. Because you don't need to complain, but you must accept. Accepting here means accepting the true nature of your mind, the true nature of your quality. You haven't removed them, that's why they may come. They are just visitors. Okay? When visitors come, if it is good visitors, you are happy, right? If it is bad visitors, what happens? You are unhappy. You don't want to welcome that guest. Even though you want to welcome a good guest, I say, please don't welcome even the good visitors when you practice meditation. All these are hindrances for you. If you are thinking about good things that you have done, what happens? You cannot focus on your meditation object. This is what we can call good visitors. For about bad visitors, we don't need to talk about anything. Please don't participate with them.
Bhante previously said that meditators who easily see the nimitta have very good karma. Do meditators who have many difficulties have bad karma?
It didn't mean bad karma. Just because of having no nearest karma related to meditation.
Sila is the basis for samadhi. To attain abhinya, supernatural power, one needs to develop good samadhi. How come then that there are people with abhinya, but yet who do not practice proper sila? For example, Devadatta.
In time of practice, his sila was pure. The time he committed those bad actions, at the time he could not attain that supernatural power again.
Some people are very patient and have a lot of tolerance, but some are not patient and have very little or no tolerance at all and no acceptance at all. But what is the key that makes that difference?
Some are patient, some are not.
Yes.
What is the reason?
Yes.
Because of not knowing the benefit of practicing patience really, they are impatient. As we know, if you know the danger of something, we will not do it. In the same way, if you know the advantage of something really, deeply, we will do it. It depends on our actual understanding. So to be able to practice patience, we need wisdom. If you are wise, if we apply our wisdom, understanding the benefit of practicing patience, we can do it. If you are unwise, who don't know the benefit of practicing patience, you may not do it. Another thing, because of having no restraint, if you don't practice restraint in your life, it is not easy to practice patience too. Who can fulfill the training of morality? Who is patient? Who is patient and wise? If you are unwise and if you are impatient, you cannot practice morality. The one who can practice morality is the one who is patient too.
Many teachers teach Noble Eightfold Path as 3 divisions, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sometimes they teach path factor by path factor, one by one. But according to Buddha's teaching, one who avoids self-indulgence and self-mortification, for that person, Noble Eightfold Path arises in the mind. So, Bhante, what is your opinion on this matter, please? That means just avoiding self-indulgence and self-mortification. Noble Eightfold Path arises in the mind.
What an Eightfold Noble Path. Actually, the way leading to Nibbana is Eightfold Noble Path. It is related to realizing ultimate truth. But for ordinary people, those who are not practicing meditation, if they apply Eightfold Noble Path from the worldly point of view, it is also possible to. But for the Buddha, his purpose of teaching Eightfold Noble Path is for the realization of Nibbana. So, for example, right view. How can we attain right view? Only when we realize ultimate mentality, materiality at that time, we attain right view. The time we are practicing or discerning the ultimate mentality and materiality. In the same way, the time we are practicing vipassana, contemplating, seeing the rising and perishing of ultimate truth, at that time you have right view. This is the path, what the Buddha meant. It is deep. But from the worldly point of view, if you develop right view, if you have right effort, it is good for your life. Your life will be beautiful, but you cannot realize Nibbana yet just by doing so.
This is an Abhidhamma question. Why are there only 2 Tadaramana in the mental process taking Ati Mahanta Ramana?
According to law of Citta only, if it is Ati Mahanta, so 2 Tadaramana will follow. Sometimes Tadaramana may not follow, just to Javana. Sometimes Javana also may not arise according to the objects.
The next question is about the difference between Mahayana and Theravada. So we have to face them when we go back to our country. Mahayana is the mainstream in the society. They say that the text is true Dhamma, how can we associate with them?
As I have told all of you, we all need to study the teachings of the Buddha to have or to achieve right knowledges. If we are honestly to say, we all know what is the original teachings. If we have no bias, if we are honest, we can accept which one is the original teachings. Everybody, they claim that my one is the best. This is the nature of human's nature. We don't need to complain and understand the true nature of the human. But if we know that which one is the truth, just follow it. But you don't need to force anybody to practice the way you do, if they are unwilling. Buddha teaches the Dharma to those who really want, who are willing, not to those who don't want. That's why, for all of us, we must practice, as the Buddha said in the Dhammavada. Don't see the fault of others. Just see the fault of oneself. And improve oneself, teach oneself. This is the best way. Even for those who practice Bhikkhu's Vinaya, those who know the benefit of practicing Bhikkhu's Vinaya should practice. Will practice. But those who really practice Vinaya, if they see those who don't practice, they will not complain. Complaining is unwholesome. Complaining is accumulating bad karma. Instead, if we have right condition to admonish or to give a suggestion to that bhikkhu, we will do it. But nowadays, there are some, those who say, I practice Vinaya, complaining others. Yet, those who don't know how to practice Vinaya, it is not necessary to complain. It is for those who want, not for those who don't. In the same way, if you go back to your country, maintain your goodness, as you know. Wherever we are, the most important thing to do is to maintain our goodness, whether others are good or not. You must be good.
Bhante, whenever unwholesome state of mind arises, and they arise very often, what should we do? And I have used many methods and dharma to stop one unwholesome state of mind from arising, but not long after, it will arise again. And sometimes when one unwholesome mind state ceases, a different unwholesome mind state arises again. So how can we train our minds?
Do you know the art of acceptance? Okay? Accepting is the art. If you want to overcome almost all the problems that you encounter in your life, within or without oneself or with others, you must accept without participating. If you don't accept, you are true beings. You cannot overcome this. You don't need to worry. If you worry, you cannot overcome. If you don't accept, you cannot overcome this problem. As we know, we have defilements. That's why they will visit us. At that time, you must accept them. If you think it is yours, you cannot overcome it. It is just defilements. For you to overcome it, you need exercises to do. Taking time, spending time until you become skillful in the habits of your own mind. To be able to avoid unwholesome actions and to be able to do wholesome actions more and more in life. What the Buddha said, bhikkhus, be skillful reading the habits of your own mind. If you are unskillful reading the habits of others' mind, it doesn't matter. You must be the one who is skillful in the readings of your own mind. If you become skillful reading the habits of your own mind, when you become skillful in the habits of your own mind, and if you accept them without participating, you can improve it. Only when you know the benefit of not participating at that time, you can practice it. When the anger comes up to the surface of the mind, you are very tired. If you look at it, you're very tired. It makes you feel hot. You feel exhausted sometimes because of anger. If you see the fault of them, if you just look at it without participating, it subsides by itself. If you do so again and again in your daily life, you become skillful. And you know how not to participate with them quickly. And you know how to maintain calmness of the mind. How benefit it is. Only when you do practically in your daily life, you will understand it.
But in this period, I regularly can recall things that happened a long time ago, very, very clearly. Even things that happened when I was 3 years old, I can recall, just like watching a movie. However, for recent events, a lot of times I will just quickly forget. I'm now practicing samatha meditation. So what should I do?
Be mindful. You need to develop wise attention. Buddha said, without having developed wise attention, we cannot successfully practice meditation. For those who are practicing Anapana meditation, they need wise attention. What the wise attention that they need to develop the time they practice mindfulness of breathing meditation? Buddha said, if they are not focusing on the in-breath and out-breath, and if they are not knowing the meditation object, if they are knowing other objects, or if they are taking other objects, at that time they have no wise attention. So if your mind is taking other objects, just simply remind, oh, you have no wise attention. So you should focus back on the in-breath and out-breath. Only then you can practice. As I told you, if you know how to maintain calmness of the mind after being skillful reading the habits of your own mind, I think you can improve it. All the improvement comes from the skillful reading the habits of your own mind. This is what all of you need to practice in your daily life. Only then you can improve more.
But here, according to modern scientific research, it is said that when people are stressed, like for example, getting a little electric shock, if they can immediately bite a piece of wood, the body doesn't get harmed, they don't get sick.
Electric shock.
If the body has some external stress of some sort, the body doesn't get harmed. If they can't find an outsource to react to that stress, then they get stomach ulcer.
Stomach
ulcer. However, we as ordained people should be restrained and should not act out if we have, for example, anger or any other stress. And this, in the long term, can maybe make us sick if we suppress all these negative feelings. And we may get stomach ulcer or stomach cancer. So, what should we do to balance?
What do you think? You are going to suffer from stomach cancer? by practicing patience. If you are able, it is not. But who is capable to do it? Only when they understand the benefit of practicing patience and not to show emotional feeling much to others and not to act according to the emotional feeling, they can practice it. But those who think, if I suppress, I'm going to suffer from Dharma cancer, better I should.
That means react in a certain way, like fight on the
yes.
or find some outlet.
Yes. If you think so, you will do it. Because of this reason, you will get cancer. You will suffer from cancer. Okay? But if you see the benefit of practicing all these, you will free from suffering at the present and in the future too. You will become mature more and more.
Bhante mentioned before that we should forgive someone if that person has done something wrong to us or something unwholesome, even though we may not forget. However, if we can't forget what others have done to us, then we may be unhappy. So how to forgive and totally forget?
To be able to forgive oneself and others, it is necessary, it is important to develop forgiveness, not only to others, but also to oneself too. To be able to forgive others, we must see the actual causes. If you see the one who did wrong, you can't forgive. You can't develop forgiveness because you have no right understanding. Why do people do wrong? I've told many of you, I will tell it now again. It is not because we were born as humans, we become wise and stupid. It is just because we can bring defilements under control, we become wise. It is because we can't bring defilements under control, we become stupid. The time we can bring defilements under control, we will not do any wrong actions. By the time we can't bring them under control, we will do something wrong. That's why the cause is defilements, not a person. If you can pay attention to the actual cause, he or she did something wrong because of not knowing how to bring defilements under control. The defilements is the cause. So if you see the actual cause, you can forgive others. Why? If you become skillful reading the habits of your own mind, you come to know that you also did such things in your life because you didn't bring defilements under control. At that time you're also stupid, you're foolish too. People say, this person is very stupid. If you want to point out a stupid person, just point out oneself. You yourself also stupid in your life, many times too. That's why, if we can't bring defilements under control, we will be like this. That's why we must forgive. This is not only of others, it is of us too. But we can't forget it. No need to forget. We must learn from it. Okay? Because we can't forget it. We have perception, that's why we can't forget. Don't think, I'm going to forget it. You can't. If there is right condition, you remember, but learn from it. You can learn from both good and bad. The winner teaches us what to do. The loser teaches us what not to do. That's why you must be the one who knows how to learn. And then you can forgive. You can't forget, you can learn from it. I know what you have done to me, but I forgive you. But I will not forget it. I will learn from it. Okay?
Auntie, we are taught that when we do something wholesome, it is good that we not only do it alone, but also get others to do it together. This is better than doing something wholesome alone, right? In some cases, to get something done, like, for example, to organize this Dhamma talk, for example, or to get a book done or whatever, one person is not enough. Different people have different strengths. So if people of the various strengths come together and do the things that they are good at, then the thing can be more perfect. However, if we get people involved, this also means that we could be taking time off their practice. If we know that the person will be very happy to get involved in a wholesome thing, should we invite them to do together? And if we invite them, are we accumulating bad karma in the sense of making them take time off their practice?
According to Buddha's teaching, when we are going to do good deeds such as offering, if we do alone, when it gives its result, it is going to give well. But there will be no companies. Because of this reason, those who want a company around him or her, Buddha said, they should encourage others to join the deeds that is going to do. When it gives results, it will give both. But whatever we are going to do, alone or with others, we all need to know the right time and right place and right condition. We should not expect all the time to do with others. We should not think not to do just alone. According to the condition, sometimes just alone is better. Sometimes with others is good. Sometimes it is better to be with others. Sometimes without others is the best. We all need to know the right time, the right place, and the right condition. If we don't know, if we just expect for our good results in the future, it is just serving our ego. This is not the way to do it. This is ego driving trick. Okay? So, according to Bhikkhu's Vinaya, if the devotee didn't invite us, we cannot ask anything. If they invite us, we can ask something that we need. But even though the lay devotee had invited us, we need to be mindful. He or she, how about his saddha at the present? Even though he had invited long ago, if his saddha is now not very bright, at that time better not to ask anything. In the same way, we should apply this in our daily life. If we are going to ask someone help, we should observe whether he is willing to do or not. Even though he is unwilling to do, if you are the one who can persuade him, you have this ability, you have very good friendship and very good relationship, should do for the good of him. But if you know that it is not the right person, better not to do.
Bhante, if we know that the person will be very willing to help, but if we ask that person to help, it will mean that we take time off.
If they are willing, it is okay.
Will I accumulate bad karma by asking that person for help?
No, if he is willing, it is okay. If you don't do forceful way, it is okay.
Bhante, may I know between the Bodhisattva path and the Savana path, means directly to Nibbana, which one is more superior?
Superior here means not for the attainment of different attainment. Their intention, okay? To be a Buddha, we must fulfill Bharami. So to be a Buddha, we need great compassion and wisdom. Without this, we cannot. So those who really want to do for the good of many in the world, wishing to fulfill Bharami as a Bodhisattva to be a Buddha, because of his great intention, he is very great. The one who wants to realize Nibbana in this very life as an ordinary Arahant, because he sees the danger and the fault of having existences. That's why he wants to make quickly his attainment. And this is to make free from his suffering. It is very good for him. It is very great too. We don't need to compare anything.
But what should we do in this life so that we can be a free-rooted person in the next life?
Before the time, after you are doing wholesome karma, okay? Before and the time you are doing, after you are doing, if you have happiness and with the understanding of the karma and its result, when it gives its result, it will give its result to be reborn as a three-rooted person. But if you have no faith on karma and its result, it cannot give such result.
What should we do in our daily life so that wisdom can always arise every moment?
If you are patient, you are all the time wise. Yeah. If you are patient, patience makes you wise. Wisdom makes you patient too. These two are connecting. If you practice patience, you become wiser and wiser.
No other further questions? Then the next few questions are all related. Bhante, as Bhante promised, Bhante will give us Dhamma talk about 10 paramis. Part 2. How to fulfill the 10 paramis. The next question. First, I need to bow to you to show my respect. The last time you gave us Dhamma talk 10 paramis. This time, please teach us how we can happily apply them in our daily life and in meditation. The next question, Bhante, can you please continue the previous Dhamma talk on how to fulfill 10 paramis in our daily life? And in the 10 paramis, which is the one that we can cultivate, and after cultivating it, we can possess all the 10 paramis, especially in all the 4 postures. Also, is it possible for Bhante to summarize your Dhamma talk yesterday regarding samatha and vipassana meditation? Sadhu.
It is not good to summarize. Not easy to summarize.
Thank you very much.
Just to expand.
Thank you very much for giving us a series of Dhamma talk there.
Yeah. If there is right condition, I may explain.
That's on yesterday's talk and the previous 3 questions on the 10 paramis.
Yes. What about how to practice Bharami in daily life? And for those who want to see the Buddha, what I have given in my language yesterday, if I have right condition, I will explain how to do that. Okay?
Sadhu. Does anyone have any further questions? If not, thank you very much for your time, Bhante. As we all know, yesterday was Bhante's birthday, 41st birthday, and The question and answer session today is actually a gift given to us by Bhante very kindly. And Bhante will also like to take this opportunity to offer you a birthday present, because in many of the countries that we come from, usually the present is given to the birthday boy instead of the other way around. And you have given us such an excellent gift of Dharma. Whatever gift that we can present to Bhante, of course, is by no means comparable to what Bhante has been giving us. But it comes from our sincerest heart with deep gratitude and appreciation for what Bhante has done for us all this while. It is an expression of our gratitude, and we are grateful for all your patient guidance, all your teachings. Your teachings not just in the form of words, not just in the form of literature or the books that you've written, but also from your bodily action and the way you conduct yourself. By just merely watching Bhante, many of us have learned a lot about qualities such as patience, such as mindfulness, just to name a few, and we are really grateful for that. So, we would like to make use of this opportunity to offer you this birthday present, and Jali Karuna, on behalf of all of us, your pupils, your students, would like to offer you this flower basket.
We will share Mary's tenderly. Repeat after me. Idam me punyam asavakayam vaham hotu. Idam me punyam nibbanasa patsayo hotu. Mama punya bhagam sabba satanam vajemi de sabbe visamam punya bhagam nabantu.